Hello and welcome to excellenceinresilience.com. We are experts in resilience research and training. Being resilient means you can work happier and live better. What is resilience? We define resilience as adapting to adversities and challenging situations, plus or minus growth. We measure resilience in 4 phases: survival, adaptation, recovery, and growth. We use a great tool we've trademarked called a resilience scale to help you discover your resilience level. We all have different resilience levels. Some of us have more resilience skills that place us at a high level of resilience, while others have low levels of resilience. Let's look at everyday resilience and see if you can discover where you are in your level of resilience. When adversity strikes, our initial reaction is to become stressed in our bodies. This causes our resilience level to decline immediately, as our brains are focused more on facing the adversity today versus worrying about tomorrow. Researchers have identified 3 immediate stress reactions our bodies experience when faced with adversity: fight, flight, and freeze. All of these reactions are meant to be temporary, meaning we're not meant to stay in these 3 reactions for very long. And this is the central problem affecting our everyday resilience levels. If these reactions don't subside, they will cause us to act destructively towards ourselves and others. This is why phase 1 of resilience we call the survival phase. Think of an upsetting incident that happened to you recently. How did you react? As a result of the upsetting event, did you become anxious, experience physical stress symptoms, become worried, or have trouble sleeping through the night? If you answered yes, then you are likely in a survival phase of resilience. This means you are dealing with physical symptoms of the experience, and your behaviour towards others will reflect this. You will likely have difficulty being positive or realistically optimistic about your work or life. You may even find yourself sabotaging your relationships and efforts to get ahead in life. No matter how hard you try, it seems things you really want to happen just don't happen. This can lead to a feeling of resignation about your work and goals in life. If this is you, now you know why life can seem so hard sometimes. And there is good news. The good news is phase 2 of resilience is adaptation. In the adaptation phase, we begin to take some responsibility for any actions that could have brought on the adversity, and we can begin to take responsibility for finding solutions. By doing this, we can feel less victimized by adversity and begin to accept the reality of the situation more. Most importantly, we can begin to grow new neural networks that help us to rewire our brains so we can do better next time there is an adversity. We can learn a new set of skills that will help us move through adversity faster in the future. All of this leads us to the recovery phase, which is phase 3 of the resilience scale. In phase 3, we are beginning to practice new habits and learn better social skills. By doing this, we learn a critical technique we teach at Excellence in Resilience, working with reality rather than against it. When you work against reality, you are resisting or possibly avoiding change. This is often unhealthy and leads to lower resilience levels. Here's a question for you. Are you focused on the reality of the situation or the injustice of the situation? If you are focused on the reality of the situation, you are in the recovery phase. If you are focused on the injustice, you are fighting, avoiding, or resisting a change in your organisation or your life. This means you are still in the adaptation or survival phases. Look at where you are in resilience. Are you experiencing stress-related body sensations? If so, you are in the survival phase. Are you learning new skills and rewiring your brain? If so, you are in the adaptation phase. Are you practicing working with change and the reality of the situation? If so, you are in the recovery phase. If you like, you can pause this presentation for a moment and give yourself a minute or more to reflect. Where are you in personal resilience right now? The final skill in the recovery phase is increased empathy. We saved this for last in the recovery phase because to us it is the most important skill in resilience. Having increased empathy means you have an ability and interest in imagining what others around you are feeling or thinking. How is your empathy? Are you able to accurately imagine how others might be feeling and thinking? Or do you not find empathy very important in your relationships? If you're able to have empathy towards others and you are working with the change, this means you have fully recovered from the adversity and you are ready for growth. Our research indicates the more you can, number 1, have empathy, number 2, be optimistic, number 3, be realistic, and number 4, take responsibility for your actions, the more resilient you will be. Our case histories demonstrate more growth after adversity with empathy, realistic optimism, and personal responsibility. The final phase in our resilience scale is the growth phase. Growth is where you are thriving and flourishing. This is because you are more self-aware and have successfully worked on perspective taking on the adversity you experienced. Essentially, you are more mindful and you realise that what happened wasn't so bad after all. In the growth phase, you have learned important lessons that now allow you to have better relationships. Research shows how relationships help us get through adversities faster. The better our relationships, the better our chances at being resilient. How did you do in looking at your personal resilience? Did you learn anything new? We hope you enjoyed this short presentation on everyday resilience and the 4 phases. For more information, you can download Dr. Angela Smith's free ebook, Everyday Resilience. Just go to excellenceinresilience.com and sign up, and the ebook can be downloaded for free. Thanks again for stopping by. You can follow us on Twitter at Dr_resilience or on Facebook at facebook.com/excellence in resilience.